I think they let you know right away. I tend to believe Gunvalson on this one,
You
but
do? I actually think she's lying. I think
you do. You think she's? I listen. She lies. She lies. So like, you got a
they all
point.
lie. They
They
all
all
lie.
lie. They all lie. I mean,
Look, do
so
I think this scenario is possible? Do I think production had their cell phones off and Brianna was calling everybody she could to get in touch with her mother and they probably had Vicky's cell phone? Yeah. Do I believe they were setting up for a next scene? Sure. Do I believe that, but like, do I think that the producers that do become your friends, even though we know they have a job to do, I don't know. Do you think that they would? Do you think they spoke to Brianna or they got a text message that her mother had died and they all go, okay, wait a sec. Wow, this is gonna just destroy Vicky. Get her mic'd. I mean,
I hope not. But do I believe
you
it? Ugh,
you do.
I
All
don't
right.
know.
Well, look, I don't. You do. I mean, that's what's the beauty of our podcast, right? We can agree to disagree.
We can agree to disagree. However, this is where Vicky is not in touch with herself. She's not. She sent me a text, guys. I read it at the live show. This has nothing to do with me. It's kind of like, what do you mean you won't forgive them? I guess two things could be true because you stayed employed by the network for many years after this happened. They fired you and kicked you out and did you really dirty and embarrassed you at your last reunion when they trotted you out like a friend of after all your years of service. And now the rat that scurries is the longest running housewife in the OC history as far as years as a full-time housewife. So I guess two things get to be true, but that's where I don't believe Vicky. That's where she goes into that martyr. I am a businesswoman, Kodo Insurance. I would never go as low as Tamra. You would go as low as Tamra. You have gone as low as Tamra, and that's okay. It's okay, girl. Just admit it. What's your address, babe? I'll send you a mirror. It's like, I guess two things get to be true. I guess you could never forgive them. But you didn't seem so outraged for the next 3 years when you were full time. And then the next 2 years when you took the scraps that they threw at you and made you bend over and pick them up in the corner.
That's what I think too. I feel like they called her to do this documentary and they were like, "Hey, do you have any really like anything that'll really like what's the worst moment?" And she's like, let me call you back. Okay, well, you know what? They delayed my mom letting me know about my mom's death for about 20 minutes. 20 minutes, 60 minutes, what does it matter? That
Right.
that was the low. I mean, I think
And like you say, delayed, like they picked up the call and Brianna was crying, and we said, okay, let's go find your mother. Wait, Vicky's standing right in front of us. Wait, we don't know where she is. Hold on a second. Or is it like, right, you went to voicemail for 20 minutes and the producers like look down and they have 17 texts from Brianna, urgent, urgent, urgent. There is a difference, yeah. So I agree with you. Listen, Gunvalson will say anything to get into front of the camera. It is over. I wouldn't take the scraps anymore, Vicky, and I don't even think they're going to ask her back. Really, no, no, no offense. Just my honest gut opinion. I mean, Gina Keogh isn't really on brand. We're not asking her back on a regular basis. We'll do a voiceover with her once every 5 years. I think from the past if you want to close your eyes and say who is on brand to come back, to me, it's Gretchen and De La Rosa. And
mm,
yes, I know De La Rosa she lives downtown right here in LA. I mean, I'm in New York City at the moment, but right in our backyard, she lives in DTLA with her new man, and she's young and age appropriate. De La Rosa and Gretchen are the two to me that are on brand. Megan, she's been on this podcast. She's not really on brand. I know she also doesn't live there. And yeah, De La Rosa lives in LA. So she's not going to go rent a house in the OC and pretend that she's back in town for something. Give me a break. So those are the two. If you want to look at on brand, Gretchen is enough time has passed. She's got slayed. I don't think Gretchen lies either. I think she's nice and with Alexis back. I mean, but I really don't think anyone's coming back. I think they're bringing the same cast back, including everyone's most hated Alexis.
can't wait.
You getting me riled up? You getting me riled up? I said it's all about you today, not me.
Well, I'm going to get you riled up again.
Uh-oh.
of the rat
Oh, she's
getting
bad.
that
She's
Gouda?
bad.
What'd you make of her interview recently where she goes, I've talked to Bravo and I've done the numbers, and Bravo tells me, don't even worry about the autism backlash, the hate. I know
Mhm.
it's Bravo has told me it's only 3% of the audience, and they're the loudest, but they're so tiny, they're so minuscule. Don't even worry about the hate. What do you think of the
Well,
rest?
your noises are very appropriate. She does scurry. She's have you ever seen a rat that scurries, waddles, has beady eyes, and doesn't even deserve a piece of Gouda? She's really
Yeah,
she's
every
really
rat.
but Sarah, she's really misbehaved this season. Come on now. The rat has misbehaved.
Uh, well, I think we're seeing kind of the true rat, honestly, right?
Mhm.
I mean, I think the rat just other seasons had more redeemable qualities. This season, to your point, they don't want to get rid of Shannon. So they can't have a season where it's all about Shannon being an alcoholic.
Mhm.
So it's about Shannon's we have a lot of pity and empathy for Shannon. The rat, none. We don't really see a lot of Eddie. We see Eddie trying to keep her out of trouble. It doesn't work. But the rat seems to think Bravo's got her back. And I mean, this is the part that made me laugh, though. I mean, do we really think only 3%? I mean, come on, that autism thing, there ain't one person who wrote to her and said, oh, I guess Jacqueline from Larita.
Yeah, and I think she's in I think Miss Larita got a slap on the wrist for that one. She went against the scumbag lawyer and Teresa.
No
You
one
can't
believes that
you can't
Tamra
support the
is the
rat. Jacqueline
from.
Larita, girl, you better not be supporting the rat because Tamra spoke out against Louie and BravoCon and Teresa's gonna call you. She tried to come into my world and I had to run away. Get involved with a corporation she's involved with. Get me out of there. I have mixed feelings on this one too. Today's a very
Oh, you do?
interesting
All
day.
right. I think she's
Well,
delusional. I think it was
you know,
way more than 3%. Way more. Like
you
I
know
mean,
what's so funny? I agree with you. You know what's so funny though is what's the word that it is that hatred noise like when I have Melissa's old nose on. We just had her back and she'll be back, guys. Someone said to me, I think last week, they left a public comment, which I love the public comments. Slip into the DMs with a nasty comment, you get blocked. Leave a public comment, that's what the world is for. And they were like, David, if you keep speaking ill of Teresa, no one's going to listen to your podcast. And I'm like, oh, okay, well, let's straighten out a few things. I'm going to keep speaking ill about Teresa when she acts like a fucking animal. Melissa's old nose will be back.